We're in. We're alive. We're back on the channel on houseofhoot.com, on the House of Hoot YouTube. You might be able to hear the sound of birds behind me. Bird song. Summer night bird song here. From it's House of Hoot Studios, kind of. It is a studio-ish. I mean, look at this nice stuff. We got lights here. We got a nice camera. We got a nice microphone. We got everything we need. Not that. Ignore that. That's in the background there. So, not been back for a little while. Just thought I'd check in, do another episode of the podcast, make a happy geek out of you, if you will. If you're interested in some of the stuff that we're here to talk about, here to peddle a little bit. So yeah, we're back. In the time that I've been away, we've kind of done a couple of things, made a couple of videos. So don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like on YouTube, because it does help us. It helps us a lot. Keeps me feeling like I am a sane person, a normal person who just enjoys messing around on the internet, making videos for you to enjoy. So we've talked a little bit of nonsense. We're in. It's Wednesday, I think. Is it Wednesday? It is. Wednesday the 19th of June. I turned 30 last Friday. 30 years old, which has strengthened my resolve to be a crazy person and just come out here and keep talking nonsense. Today's nonsense. I want to start. Let me start. Where are we going to start? I've got it written down here, but I've not got it on the screen. We're going to start with Avengers Endgame. Yeah, we are. That's what we're going to start with. Here we go. A couple of guys kissing on the screen there. 2019. I wanted to bring this up because we are expecting, according to Den of Geek, Avengers Endgame is going to be re-released with extra footage. It's already 3 hours and 2 minutes long, something like that. I don't know what they're going to add. Seems overkill, maybe at this point. If you've not seen it already, then go and see it. I don't think you can see it anymore. When did it come out? April? You can't go and see it anymore, probably. But yeah, if you're watching this, there's a good chance that we've got the crossover of the Avengers Endgame crowd. It was the biggest selling film of all time. Now they're thinking, a bit more money on the table we can probably take. 1.2 billion global opening. They set the record for it. So they're saying the original cut clocked in at 181 hours. It's yet to be determined how far over the 3 hour mark this new version will push it. I hope not too far. Sorry, the full box office amassation collection box office record 2.7 billion, which is nearly as close as Avatar, which is very close to Avatar, but not quite. 2.743 billion. Avatar clocked in at 2.788. Never seen Avatar. Never appealed to me. When people were talking about it, I was like, I don't. James Cameron films never do anything for me, really. Titanic's kind of boring. That was my main reasoning. Titanic is boring. Why would I want to watch blue people Titanic? And I think I was proven right by that. I don't know. I've never seen it. I might go and watch it. I could go and watch it and review it after this. Might do that. But yeah, Marvel and Disney are hoping to bring out another version of Endgame with extra stuff. It's worth noting that nothing's been officially announced, and it's not certain whether Kevin Feige, is that who it is? Yeah, Kevin Feige, the Marvel Studios chief, has decided how long it's going to be. Who knows? I hope it's gonna not be too long, because 3 hours and 2 minutes, I think it is 3 hours 1 minute, 101 minutes. No, 181 minutes. I read it a second ago. 181 minutes. So that's 3 hours and 1 minute. It's kind of excessive. It was a long film to kind of sit down. I'm not saying it wasn't a good film, because it was an amazing film, but it's kind of a long film to just sit and try and digest there and then. There's a lot going on almost all the time. So it's kind of a big deal to kind of add to it, because the people that have already seen it already know it. I saw it a couple of times. I saw it more than once, and I kind of thought it was the pinnacle of Marvel. Like it's the quintessential Marvel film. It's the best. It's the longest, and what more can you do with it? How much extra do you need to add from a storytelling point of view? Like, is there anything that they left on the table that wasn't in it in the first place? And why wasn't it in the first place? If it's that important, should have been there. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they come up with, if they do indeed come up with something. There was also talk of a post-credit scene being added. Obviously, the post-credit scene wasn't a post-credit scene, it was a post-credit noise, and it was apparently alluding to... I didn't follow it up, but I think it was alluded to Doctor Doom, potentially. But that's another story for another time, I guess. We're not going to continue with that, because we've done that. We're going to do something that caught my eye. This guy, Super Mario, makes for a shockingly good Battle Royale game. Now, on the quiet, because I don't know how much Nintendo actually like their stuff being used without their permission. If you go to this link that's on here right now, I can't put it on the screen right. I mean, I guess I could put it on the screen right now. I kind of, if you're just listening to this, you're not going to know what it is. Basically, Super Mario, a dude has coded a Battle Royale version of Super Mario. It's a winner-take-all game, genre. It's called Mario Royale. It's pretty simple. 75 people all playing as Mario try to get their way to the end of Super Mario at the same time. It sounds easy, but since everyone looks identical, it's I've played it a little bit. Basically, what you have to do, you all get to the end. If you drop off the screen, you die. You're not in the game anymore. You've lost, and basically last man standing. Whoever gets to the end wins. So that's available at the moment. The link, I mean, I want to play it. I could play it a little bit. Let's play it a little bit. Let me just set myself up for doing this. I think I can do this. Right, so we're here. We click this. Let's see where we end up. Read this. So we're going to play this a little bit. Who knows how good it's going to be. Right, let me see if I can click here to rebind the controls. We're not going to do that. There's 1,500 people online. We don't need to rebind controls. Let's just play. Play now. Okay, my name is House of Hoot. And let's go. Okay, loading resources. Space doesn't jump, no? Okay, we're good. I lost already. No? Okay, we're good. Right. 80 players in the game. Let me see if I can just drag some desktop audio into there so you get the full feeling. And we are in. So here we go. We got to keep up. Let's all keep up. It's pretty hard. I'm dead already. Right, okay. We're not going to play this. This was a bad idea to do on a podcast, especially because it's an audio podcast. But yeah, there's some cool stuff happening in the world of Battle Royale games at the moment. If I can just go back to The Verge there. We had Tetris 99, which was interesting. That's on the Switch at the moment, I think. How much is it on the Switch? Let me see if it's out there. I want Tetris 99. You can get it on PC as well, I think. Tetris 99. So that's Battle Royale, Tetris. Same sort of concept. Interesting sort of concept. Some Battle Royale games kind of fall flat. I'm looking at, like... I don't like Fortnite. It's always been a contentious thing for me because I'm not your... I don't think I'm your Fortnite target audience, to be honest with you. My reactions aren't what they used to be. So trying to play Fortnite sometimes it's just a pain. But I do dabble. Apex Legends was really, really good. So I got into that quite heavily when I was unemployed recently. Well, no, when I was unemployed. It's a couple of months ago now. I was streaming it all the time, enjoying it a lot. And yeah, it was a fun, more grown-up take on it. Obviously, you got PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds, which I've played a little bit, but I kind of didn't get into properly. You need a lot of people. So yeah. But I like the idea of a Battle Royale game, but in practice sometimes they're kind of like, they're interesting, but sometimes they fall flat. So nice to see something different, kind of. And given that, you know, this is a thing that I was talking about a couple of weeks ago, is games are supposed to be fun, rather than, you know, you can have a technical masterpiece of a game, it can look amazing, it can feel amazing. That's why I'm kind of not that, I'm kind of nonplussed about Xbox, Project Scarlet, PS5, don't really care. Google Stadia grabbed my attention because it was kind of like, maybe I can just jump in, maybe I can just get involved in this game and play it. And that's something that is big as far as I'm concerned. So, you know, Battle Royale game. Go and try it. The link is in the description of this video. I've made sure of that. So you can go try the Battle Royale game. We don't know how long it's going to be up for because Nintendo don't like their things being used. So potentially it'll be gone soon. It's there for now. Go enjoy it. Battle Royale games, enjoy them as well if you want. I'm not going to judge you for it. I don't know where I've ended up here. Battle Royale games is where I ended up, but Google Stadia was where I wanted to go. I think I've got a story on Google Stadia here. Yes, I do. This is from CNN Business. Streaming gaming will change the video game industry, and here's why. Last week at E3, I didn't go over a lot of E3 stuff because I kind of don't care. I mean, like I was saying, games are supposed to be very, very fun. I like the quirky games. I like the different games. One of my favourite games that I played this year is Don't Starve Together, which is a weird game, but very interesting. So the big console announcements, don't care about. Halo Infinite, don't care about. But Google Stadia being announced was very interesting to me because I was a big proponent of, I don't know if you remember OnLive. OnLive was, let me bring up OnLive, because OnLive was the precursor almost, the test subject, Project Zero, is that what they call Patient Zero, for the cloud virtualization game. And it was kind of, you had to have a box or a PC to do it, and it was streaming, and it was a very cool concept, but didn't really work. The internet was there, but like the connection speeds and stuff just weren't there. Now we have those connection speeds. Google have gone, well, you know, what can we do here? Some good things about Google Stadia that I'm interested in, really. The sort of infinite expansion model of never having to own a console, only having to own the Chromecast Ultra or your phone or your PC or your Mac, whatever you've got, is kind of interesting because it means that you never have to buy hardware. If you never have to buy hardware, it means that games can be forever pushing the envelope and everyone can enjoy them. So that means that, you know, you get, at the moment, you have to fit a game onto a Blu-ray disc and an install or some combination. I mean, Final Fantasy VII Remake, is that what it's called? It's going to be over 2 discs, I think. I think I heard that somewhere. Let me Final Fantasy VII Remake disc. I think it's going to be 2 discs. Yeah, who cares? It's going to be, yeah, span 2 discs. There we go. So it's going to be massive, which is cool, but it's still only 2 discs, which means how much does a Blu-ray hold now? 50 gig Blu-ray capacity. I think it's like 50. It can go up to, yeah, it used to be 25 for a single layer, 50 for a dual layer. Blu-ray capacity PS4. Let's see how much so they use normal single layer and double layer discs, so potentially 200 gig, which is just storage, which is assets, which is everything you need to run the game. If you're not running that game, you're streaming that game, you don't have that initial outlay. You don't have the initial, you know, these are what we need for you to do this. It means more people can play it, which means a better audience for the games, which might shift the publishers across to Google because they're going to be like, well, we can bring it out on the PlayStation, but everyone has Google Stadia, or more people. You know, it could change things from that perspective. It could kind of get multi-platform games, cross-platform play to be the norm because more people will be going. I mean, we saw that with Destiny 2. With Destiny 2, you can save it on your Xbox. You can then pull that save onto your Stadia. You can be playing that on the commute. You're playing that on your way to work, on the train, if that's what you're doing. Don't do it when you're driving. Can't be driving and playing Destiny 2 at the same time. You're going to lose control of your vehicle. But you can, theoretically, be continuing what you were doing anywhere, which is what we don't have or haven't traditionally had in the space of handheld games consoles. They're not the same. I mean, the PS Vita was kind of there, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't big boy games. And the Switch is kind of too big to be a hand. It's nice to bring it, but it's too big to be a handheld console. So the ability to be able to play, have your Stadia controller and go, I'm going to play on this screen, wherever I want to be, is kind of a game changer. Xbox are going to do the similar thing. They're going to have can't remember the name of it, Project X Cloud. I think, Project X Cloud. But still, the outlay, still, do you need to own an Xbox to do it? I think that for me personally, Stadia will. Oh, sorry. One of the major players, Microsoft, attached to Xbox One controllers, iPhone games, ran games like Gears 4, Forza Horizon 4, and Halo. So Xbox proprietary games played on an Android phone, which is cool. Let me get that screenshot up there because that's pretty interesting. There's your screenshot of it. That's cool too. So if they're going to do the same thing, then it could be a toss-up between who are the two people that are going to do it. But yeah, Google seems more interesting to me at the moment, just on the basis that I'm sort of like, I'm all about trying new things and plugging in a Chromecast, paying $9.99 a month, regular free games, whatever that means. That could be anything at this point. I mean, they could be sort of like, we spoke about the play date a couple of weeks ago, in that there's sort of a Netflix subscription model of they're going to have one game available a month, one new game a month, and then they're going to go into a back catalog. If that's what they choose to do with Google Stadia, if that's what they choose to do with Xbox, cool. So we'll see. The Stadia Founders Pack is in at $129, which comes with a Chromecast Ultra dongle, Stadia controller, and 3 months of subscription and a friend pass. So that's kind of not a big outlay. And the main thing that you want from that, I mean, I'm going to get one because I want to know what the controller is going to be. Because the thing with OnLive was, it was cool, kind of worked, but the latency of the controller was terrible. I tried playing, I think it was Colin McRae, if it was even called Colin McRae then, the Dirt game, the rally game, and it was kind of, in parts it was okay, but it became like, it was jerky, it was flickery, it was kind of like, it wasn't the experience that you would get from a home console, which hopefully, if we're to believe what Google have been saying, what Google have been trumpeting, then we can fix that. We can change that. We can win that. We can win the war. So Microsoft, of course, Microsoft Azure, huge cloud computing solution that is used in corporate settings, businesses all over the world, websites run on Microsoft Azure. It's big business, and it's kind of the future that I potentially would trust as a gaming location, because everything's in the cloud now. I save everything to the cloud. This is in the cloud. You're watching this from the cloud. Everything's just there. Why have a hard drive anymore? Why subject yourself to that slowness? Unless you've got an SSD, in which case probably not. Yeah. So nice that PS5 and Sony PS5 and Microsoft are doing the new Xbox or Project Scarlet or whatever they're calling it. But who cares? I'm not that interested in it. And then we come to where we were right at the start. No, we're not right where we're at the start. What am I talking about? I've lost my train of thought. I want to talk about the Samsung Galaxy Note 10. So it apparently looks like this. This is from OnLeaks and Price Bar, which, I mean, it looks like a cool render. It's still got the little, I don't know if you can see my cursor there. It's still got the little hole punch. It's got like a 3-camera setup on the back, a couple of sensors there. It looks cool. Might be a giant. It's cool that we're not getting the... Sorry, what happened last week was Google, of course, not launched, but accidentally leaked the Pixel 4 themselves, which is an interesting move, trying to get themselves out into the market to let you know what you're going to be buying by, like, I think it's November time that they normally come out. Apparently, according to Shara Tibken at CNET, August 7th launch. New York City, first week of August is when the new Note's going to launch. Samsung have had some challenges with the folding phone recently. Or not just recently, but kind of... Yeah. So, the folding, I can't remember, what was the folding, what were we calling the folding phone? The folding phone, I can't remember what it's called. Let me Google it. Samsung folding phone. Galaxy Fold. It's just literally there. It's on the tip of my tongue. So, Huawei, out of contention now. in some cases, not everywhere, but they're kind of on the back burner. Do we know if they're going to actually be able to bring out phones? Do we not? At this point, we're kind of going, who knows? Samsung bringing out another phone after. I mean, the Note is a big people. I think somewhere there was a Note most popular phone. The most satisfied people had a Galaxy Note 9. So the Note 9 obviously is a phone that people enjoyed having, people enjoy using. It's kind of the flagship, because the Galaxy is kind of like the Galaxy S series, S10 is the flagship at the moment. So Galaxy Note 10 coming, doing all the same sort of stuff. It's going to have One UI, I think. It'll have all the same sort of stuff, except it's a bit bigger. Doesn't say if it's going to have the stylus. That's a big thing with the Notes, was always the stylus. I've never had one. I don't like the Galaxy Note myself. I'm an S9 at the moment guy, but that's probably going to change. I'm thinking about getting a OnePlus, but I don't know if I trust the OnePlus enough yet. So we'll have a look into that at a later date. But yeah, Note 10 needs to rebuild because Samsung took a big hit with the Fold, yanking the Fold when obviously reviewers got hold of it and not just didn't like it, couldn't use it, were destroying it accidentally. So yeah, the Note 10 moved into a space where the Huawei's are kind of in limbo. Pixel 4 is coming, but it's not maybe the business phone. It's not maybe the phone that people will trust. I can't think of another Android phone that's kind of. But the OnePlus is cool, but it's not the flagship. It's not the phone that you want the people will want to be buying. So we're here, where we've got a Note 10 that can just walk into. We're the biggest phone, we're the best phone for a given time. If it comes out in August, it will predate it'll predate the Pixel 4. And are business people using the Pixel 4? You get a lot done on the Note because it's got a bigger screen. It's better for email, better for reading, better for taking notes. The Note is the big boy phone. And there isn't an equivalent big boy phone out there. I guess there's the iPhone, the big iPhone, but if you want Android, you're going to go for the Note. There's no other alternative if you're in the market for that. And that's kind of sad because Huawei make great stuff, but they're gone now. Ignore Huawei. We don't like Huawei anymore. We're told not to like them, so we're going to not like them. So yeah, that is pretty much where we stand with the Note 10 being released on the 7th of August. New York City, people familiar with it are saying, and there will not be headphone jacks, which is the only reason that I was sticking with Samsung in the first place. So let's see what happens from there. And then we're back here with nothing to follow up with. I did want to say a couple of things. I wanted to talk about this guy, which is I'm not going to do a big video review of it because it's kind of awkward to shoot a video about a lens when I'm using the camera that the lens will be on. But this is a Helios 44-2. It's a lens from. It's a 58mm prime lens from Soviet Russia, if you will. Soviet Russia, of course, famous for collapsing in the late 80s, I think. Famous for the Cold War. And now, famous for, let me just bring it up, Helios 44-2, 58mm. These cool vintage lens that you can literally get it on, pick it up on eBay for this was £20. It's a weird, swirly, that's why I picked it up. Bokeh. It's got this weird swirly effect in the background. Let's not mess with this. Come on, we're not ready to take better photos. Let's get over there. So it's got this cool little. It's a fully manual lens. First of all, I've been messing around with it today. It's just fresh in my mind. You're probably not interested in it, but I'm going to talk about it anyway. So basically, you've got this, which controls the aperture right at the front there. Your camera is going to hate it, so it's going to need this adapter. I'm using a Canon camera, so you need to get the Canon adapter there because it's an M42 mount, which basically means that it is from the olden days, the old country. It's a very vintage. Mine's kind of banged up, so you can probably get a better one than I've got. But if I can bring that to there, I can't get it into focus because obviously I'm not behind the camera. But yeah, it's a cool lens. It's got some cool effect. It's got like a cool effect because it drops the background out. It goes down to, I think it's 1.4 stops. That stops. I'm trying to sound like I know what I'm talking about, but yeah, it goes down very, very low, which means that it gives a really cool depth of field effects. I'm going to try making some video content with it on the channel because I want to kind of see what you can do with it. It's a fully manual lens. Your camera will not know what to do with it when you put it on, so you're gonna have you're on your own basically, twiddling these knobs, spinning this thing around, trying to make something pop out the other side. But if you already know what you're doing and you're not a novice, then you're not gonna have a problem with it. It's a cool lens for £20, and what's the adapter? £5-6, and I would implore you to get onto eBay right now if you're a little amateur videographer like myself or photographer like myself. Get on there, get yourself a Helios. I've just touched a lens, but 44.2. There is a rumor online that they're radioactive, so next time you see me, I may have grown further limbs. But for now, we're good. There's no extra limbs, nothing hanging off, no hair falling out. So yeah, we're good for now. That's pretty much all I've got. We've done half an hour. It's a welcome return for me anyway. I need to get just have some conversation. I did want to say, just before we came on, if you're a wrestling fan, you might already know that Lionheart, I think he's called Adrian McCallum, passed away today. So he was a big guy I think he was ICW champion. He was a big Scottish wrestling guy. He was on Road to Wrestler. He was one of the coaches on there. I saw him wrestle a few times, and he was good. He was very good. AJ Styles actually broke his neck in 2012, I think, and he ended up coming back from that and being better than he ever was. So, yeah, sad. Kind of a sad thing to end on, but I just wanted to kind of bring it up. It just happened, and I'm kind of like, I was thinking about it because he was one of the first time that I went to see British wrestling. It was PCW, Preston City Wrestling. It was about the same time. It was about 2011, and Lionheart was on the show. He might have been in the main event, and he was kind of like, he was so smooth to watch. He knew where to be. You know, he was a giant of Scottish wrestling, British wrestling. I think he might have wrestled a few matches in TNA, maybe back in the olden days. But yeah, a huge loss to British wrestling and wrestling as a whole. So don't normally talk wrestling in this, but just thought I'd bring that up because I kind of it's something that kind of, you know, when you get like not butterflies, but kind of like a dread in the pit of your stomach. And he was one of the first guys that kind of was British wrestling as far as I was concerned. So rest in peace, I guess. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Don't forget to subscribe. Follow us on House of Hoot, which is at House of Hoot on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and wherever else we do things. Thank you for watching, and good night, evening. Is it night? It's 9:30. Night. Thanks for coming. It's an awkward ending because I didn't actually hit stop record, so stop record now.